In the last 5 years, I've helped over 1,100 men overcome their pornography addiction, quit porn for good, get back control of their lives, reboot, rewire their brain, and go on to become what we call porn-free men. And in today's episode, I'm going to share with you the number one thing that I've learned about addiction, about recovery, and about transformation, that if you are stuck struggling in the weeds right now with pornography addiction, can be the key to you unlocking freedom in your life. But before we dive into that here today, guys, let me stop real quick and remind you who we are and what we do here. For those of you that are brand new, my name is Coach Frank Rich, founder of Rebuilt Recovery and host of the Rebuilt Man podcast. And it is our mission to help men become better men by quitting porn and rebuilding their lives. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share this episode with as many people as possible. But back in 2019, July of that year, I stepped out and started to share my journey of overcoming pornography addiction and how getting on the other side of this thing that had kept me a slave for 20 years changed the way that I saw the world, changed the way that I saw people, the ability to connect and have real, deep, meaningful relationships. And by me sharing what was happening in my life and interviewing other people that had experienced transformation in their lives, men began to get curious and vulnerable and say, Frank, we love what you're sharing, but can you help us? So right before the lockdowns in 2020, we started Rebuilt Recovery with just a small slate of clients. In the last 4 years, it has been a global movement with millions of people's lives touched and thousands of lives transformed. Relationships restored, marriages rebuilt, families reunited, businesses rebuilt, bodies reborn. And it's been an absolute honor here. And it is what I've planted my flag in, and it will become some of the most important work that I do in my entire life. But I want to share with you what you can experience if you get on the other side of this. But you have to understand this one lesson. Because so many people struggle with breaking free from pornography addiction because they see transformation, they see recovery through the wrong lens. You see, overcoming a pornography addiction is not about quitting porn. It's not about removing the behavior in your life that is keeping you a slave. It's about identifying the parts within you that are holding on to it and being able to let those parts go and create a new version of yourself. You see, in 2019, Frank Rich 2.0 was unleashed into the world. There was a new identity. There was a new lens. There was a new filter at which I saw the world through. And when I began to see myself as a different man, that man produced different thoughts. Those different thoughts created new behaviors. Those new behaviors produced new habits. And because I had new habits, my life produced a different reality. One that was no longer slave to my desires, one that was no longer slave to the impulses, but a man that lived his life by a moral code, a man that walked on top of his struggles instead of inside of them. You see, when you experience an identity transformation, you transcend the things in the past that used to hold you back. See, if you're producing real freedom in your life and you experience a radical shift in your identity, the things that used to daunt you in the past, the things that used to keep you a slave no longer hold their power. You become the one that is in control. So the single greatest thing that I've learned in the last 5 years about recovery and about addiction transformation is that to successfully overcome something for good, you must walk through an identity transformation. You must become the new individual. You must step into the life as a new man, the 2.0 version of you. Now, this logic, this approach doesn't just apply to if you're struggling with porn. If you're struggling with anything in your life and you're looking to break free, you have to experience letting those parts of you go. You see, for 20 plus years, there was a part of Coach Frank. There's a part of me that wanted pornography in my life. And that's why I chose every single day to go consume porn. If you're struggling right now, there's a part of you that wants this in your life. That's why you make the decision to go back to it, despite saying that you don't. You see, the subconscious programming is more powerful than what you can tell yourself you're thinking. So until you identify that part inside of you, which many will call the root of the addiction, and let that part disappear, let that part die off. But more importantly, create the new version, the 2.0 version of you. So if you're trying to just quit porn without experiencing a transformation of the man that you are, you will constantly struggle. You may go extensive periods of time without looking at porn. I know thousands of guys have done this. We hear from them every single day. Frank, I was on a 90-day streak and then something slipped back. Frank, I'd gone 6 months and then I spiraled out of control. You see, those men didn't create new versions of themselves. What they were trying to do was overcome pornography addiction by being the same man minus porn. Instead of saying, I must create the new man. There are new pieces of me that must be built and old pieces that must be let go. If your life without pornography looks exactly the same way that it did when you were struggling, minus just the porn, you haven't accomplished an identity transformation. What new thought patterns, what new habits, what new behaviors, what new relationships, what new environments do you thrust yourself into? What new books are you reading? What new videos are you watching? What new hobbies are you creating? What new pursuits are you pursuing? You see, an identity transformation is the transformation of the man from within. And when you produce a new man from within, the world sees a new man on the outside. There's an energy, an essence that comes with this transformation. Here at Rebuilt Recovery, we embed this into our logo. It is literally identity transformation exemplified in a single photo, in a single image. The death and resurrection of the phoenix becoming a lion. You see, all men, I believe, are called to be lions. There's a territory in this world that you are called to take dominion over. Whether it's your family, whether it's your business, whether it's your career, whether it's your ministry, whether it's your community, there's something here for you to steward. But until you let the old part of you go, you can't step into stewarding that the way that God has called you to. So you must walk through this identity transformation. Now, like I said, we've had over 1,100 successful stories here in the last 4+ years. But what I'm most proud about is what we've been able to create because of the work that we've done. You see, we've used a flagship program for the last 4 years, Reboot Your Life. It was a 16-week transformation built on incredible pillars of rebuilding your body, rewiring your brain, and reshaping your heart. But when you work with that many men, when you experience that much success and you have those many questions answered throughout the journey, you learn a little bit more. So what I'm excited to share with you today is the launch of our brand new, updated and revamped version of the #1 program in the world for porn addiction recovery. We're calling it Reboot Your Life 2.0 because it's about creating the 2.0 version of you. And what we're adding this time around that we didn't have in the past is a community of men to support you in additional development courses. We're talking about programs in self-leadership. We're talking about habit mastery programs. We're talking about an entire library and vault of fitness transformation programs. You see, in the past, we sold Reboot Your Life as a standalone course for $297 up to $497, sometimes $97 or $197 per month. You had access to a program, a 16-week of modules and videos for you to walk through. But with this new version, which in my opinion blows the old one out of the water, 10x better. We've case studied it here now time and time again inside of small cohort groups and with a lot of one-on-one clients. And this is the first time we're launching it to the public as something that you can just buy without having to work exclusively and directly with me. So Reboot Your Life 2.0 comes with the updated version of the flagship program. It comes with a 12-week self-leadership mastery course. It comes with a 30-day habit mastery course. It comes with an intensive library vault of fitness training programs paired with a community of men all across the world to support you, in addition to weekly coaching calls. And here's the best part. It's not $497 per month. It's not even $497. It's not $197 per month. Right now, as we're launching this course, until we really reach a good level of men inside the community, you can sign up today for $97 per month. You can cancel this anytime. If you visit skool.com, skool.com/reboot your life, we'll link it down there in the show notes below. But the entire community, the entire program, paired with self-leadership, paired with atomic building, paired with fitness mastery, is about creating the 2.0 version of you, that identity transformation that you must experience to actually step into and walk out in freedom as the 2.0 version of you. So visit skool.com, skool.com/reboot your life, or click the link down there in the show notes below to join us inside the brand new Reboot Your Life 2.0 curriculum and school community today to unlock the new version of you and step into a life of freedom, one that is absent and without porn. Coach Frank at The Rebuilt Man. Like I said, guys, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn those post notifications on, but we'll see you in the next one. Join us in the school community. Click the link down there below. We'll see you on the inside, guys.